So you see this pig? Look how much mud is on him. Look how long his hair is. You can tell he's been rolling in the mud. He's been down in the creek, and he's muddy. Now just wait a minute till you see the other frame, the other hog. So look at this pig. No mud on his side. He's agitated. He's shaped a little different. I thought the pig that I shot walking to the right was this pig and that he had seen me, but it's a different pig. If you look, he doesn't have that much mud on him. A little bit on this side, but look on his right side when he turns. No mud. He's shaped different. He's agitated. He's scaring that other pig off. That's a good shot, huh? Oh yeah. Some blood there. Blood on the tree. There's a turd. Oh yeah. Yeah, on the tree. And there. There he is. Wow. Man, look at there. What a blessing. Thank you, Lord. Wow. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Man, that's a good board. That's a good hit, too. It was so dark, I really couldn't see that well. But that worked out perfect. Man, yeah, look at that. I mean, he lived, you know, he ran 20 yards and lived 30 seconds, maybe. Isn't that amazing? Gotta find that arrow now and find a way back. That rub on that tree, I didn't even look at that rub. Oh. Oh, that's a good one. So yeah, it's just before daylight. Those pigs have been hitting before the feeders go off before daylight. They make their round. And it's like they go lay up during the day, so they're not out, you know, at daylight or at dark. They just pop in whenever they feel like it. Like we had some the other day. We were checking the trail camera and they were at 4:30, 3:30 in the afternoon, which is like 3, 4, 5 hours before you would think they would normally come in. Just in the afternoon, mid-afternoon, before you even go hunting, they're there. And they're checking the trail cameras. We could see, like, you know, 4 to 6. They're pretty active. So yeah, it's like, let's see what time it is. It is 4:49 in the morning. 4:49. Got up at 4. Walked down and started stalking around in the dark. We got the elusive wildlife hog lights on the feeders. So if they're at the feeder, the light's on bright. And if they're under the feeder, you can just walk up there. The light kind of blinds them a little bit. You can walk up there in bow range and shoot them. If they're on the edge of the light, they can see you, and the light may not be bright. So it's, you kind of sneak up in there until you're about 100 yards away, 75 yards away, and you can see the feeder light, and you sit there downwind and watch the light. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes they'll walk close enough to make the light come on, or you might even hear them feeding. If you go there and you wait 10 or 15 minutes and nothing's going on, you just slip off. You don't even go any closer. 75, 100 yards, you stay away from the feeder and you slip off and go find another feeder that's downwind that you can access easily, and you go stalk up on that one and get 75 yards, 100 yards downwind. You can see the light. Sometimes you walk up there and it's nothing. All of a sudden, boom, it gets bright and pigs are there feeding, and then they walk off. And after a minute or two, it gets dim again. You don't see them. You think they left, and all of a sudden, they walk close. They come back. Oh, I can see them perfect. So it's like you do that stalking and waiting and sneaking, and that's what we did here. We got up about, I don't know, I'm down in the creek bottom, 60, 70 yards. Took my shoes off. There's a little old four-wheeler road, and snuck down there in my socks. I got about 40 yards from the feeder. Didn't see anything, but I thought I could hear him chewing corn. Got up, 30 yards, shined my little piglet, Elusive Wildlife, red, bow light on him, on low. It's dim, you can't hardly even see it. But I could see him walking, like he may have heard me or he saw the light and started to get a little spooky. So he just started walking away, and he stopped behind a tree. So his head's behind a tree. He can't see the light, and I'm aiming. The light is, so it got it on low so it doesn't spook the hog, but he was out at like 30 yards, and I couldn't see him, so I had to turn it to medium, and then I could barely see him. And boy, I just tried to put it where I thought. I didn't want to aim and him walk and hit him in the ham or miss him or hit him too far back and not get him. So I aimed a couple of times, and I'm like, yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's still standing there. I think that's him, yeah. And finally I'm like, yeah, that's him, and that's his shoulder, I believe, and shot. And there's always that little delay from the time you shoot the crossbow to it hits, because your adrenaline's going and you're thinking about the shot, and there's always like that 1 second of boom, whack. Especially at 30 yards, there's just a little bit of a delay. And when I heard the arrow hit him, he ran up, and I heard him like wheeze. Like, okay, that's a lung shot. Like, and he run off and grunted and stopped. He didn't know what happened. And so he ran about probably 10 yards, stopped, walked up 5 more yards, stopped, made a little racket, walked up 5 more yards and fell right here. So he didn't go 20 yards maybe, and he never even really knew what happened. And 30 seconds after the shot, it was dead silent. So I have to go look for my arrow. It's in the dark. I might wait till daylight, but it'll be daylight soon. But that's a good pig, good boar there. Solid pig. I could tell he looked old when I walked up there. He looked burly, but he's a black pig in the dark. You're not sure how big he is. That's a pretty big pig. Let me get him up to the rack, and I'll show you in the light. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lord. God's good. Alright, so here we are. Time I walked back and took a few minute break. It's starting to crack daylight. There's that boar. That thing's a big boar, man. That's bigger than I thought. Put this low rack on the mule because I won't be able to lift him up any higher than that. I'll be lucky to get him up there. There she blows. Yeah, that's all I could have done. Get him up a foot off the ground. That's all I could have done, just to get him a foot off. You saw how heavy that thing is. That's all I could do, just to get him a foot off the ground. So set your alarm for 3 o'clock. Get up like you're going duck hunting. And go shoot them wild boars that know you're sleeping. I mean, that's pretty late. If you hunt till dark and you're like, man, let's sit an hour after dark, see if they come in. Well, that guy stayed in the brush till, I'd say 4:30, 6:30. He came 10 hours after dark. I mean, that's almost daylight. He knows, he's smart. The longer he waits, the less chance somebody's going to shoot him. You know, 4 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to sit that long. And if he's here first and you come in to hunt him in the morning and you just come walking, get in your stand. I mean, I got a tree stand right there. If you go to climb and get in that stand and he's in the brush laying down or hanging out here since 4, he's got the jump on you. So if you get in the morning and go in the stand, you always sneak downwind, check it. He may be there first. Last weekend, Todd and I went, and there's this big boar just like this. Been seeing him on camera for weeks. I mean, we got in there 30 minutes before daylight. We hadn't seen him on camera since. He must have got busted. We must have busted him, and he's changed his pattern now. It's like, I haven't seen him there. It's been like a week now, and he's just changed his pattern. So we had to have spooked him, bumped him, jumped him, 30 minutes before daylight, and now I got to repattern him. Big bull. So let's go get him back to the house, pull him up, see how much he weighs. So there's those hog lights. You can see that they're on. They're about to go off. Loose with wildlife. Big is 180, 182. Not bad. Good morning. morning, boys and girls. We've got bacon for breakfast. To God be the glory.